According to reports, Pakistan has told the Indian envoy who was summoned in the afternoon today to adhere to the 2003 ceasefire agreement that had been signed between the two countries. This after Pakistan's Foreign Office summoned the Indian envoy Sharat Sabharwal and lodged a protest over what they claim is a ceasefire violation by India and unprovoked Indian firing at the Jammu and Kashmir border with Pakistan. Hamza Amir of Headlines Today joins us from Islamabad. Apparently, a strong protest has also been lodged by Pakistan over what they call is the killing of a Pakistani soldier in Indian firing. Hamza. Hamza, can you give us more details about the message that was given to the Indian envoy who was summoned today in Pakistan? Don't seem to have Hamza with us on the line, but also joining us is Headlines Today's political editor Javed Ansari. Javed, first they killed two of our Indian soldiers and now they are trying to rub salt into those wounds by summoning the Indian envoy. Can you give us more details about what transpired in that meeting?
I am not in Islamabad, I am in Lahore. But from what I gather and what I've from reading the newspapers and from television is that a Pakistani soldier was reportedly killed in the cross-border firing yesterday. The summoning of the Indian High Commissioner is in relation to that and subsequent events that have followed. That's why Pakistan has told Mr. Sabharwal, the Indian High Commissioner in Islamabad, that the government of India must respect the ceasefire line and both sides need to ensure that these cross-border violations are put to an end immediately and that tension is not allowed to escalate and ultimately derail the peace process.
All right, Javed, just stay on with us. Headlines Today's Hamza Amir finally with us live from Islamabad. Despite telling India to try and de-escalate the tension along the border, it seems it is Pakistan, Hamza, who is ratcheting up the hostilities. First, they stopped the trucks from India crossing over into Pakistan. Now they've suspended the bus service and now a summon to the Indian envoy. What are your government sources telling you about what Pakistan's next step could be?
Well, Pakistan does not actually is not only retaliating as far as its protest is concerned. Today, the Indian High Commissioner was summoned. Not only a protest was launched, but in fact, also a written handout was given to the High Commissioner, emphasizing the fact that India should adhere with the 2003 ceasefire agreement with Pakistan. That this is one, and also we are not actually expecting anything more to happen as far as Pakistan's actions are concerned, because already what they've done is far too much. Yesterday, Pakistan was talking about easing tensions, going forward with the peace talks and reconciliation and bilateral relations. Right now, we see trades being blocked, transports being blocked to India, going from Pakistan, and also additional deployments being done on the line of control. That means that Pakistan is actually gearing up and securing itself as far as its relationship with India is concerned. So when we talk about reviewing the relationship of Pakistan and India on the Indian side, Pakistan has not said it, but Pakistan is actually doing it. And they are showing it to India that we are also on the same path as you are. If you want to review the relationship with Pakistan, Pakistan will not stand back, and Pakistan will continue to do what it is doing and not following what is actually its teaching. Because yesterday it was something else that came from the Pakistani official side, and today we see something absolutely different happening on the Pakistan side as well. So I think the next step from Pakistan side might also might be a one step going towards more problems considering Pakistan and their relationships. Not to forget, Indian delegations are in Pakistan. They are talking on peace as far as records are concerned, bringing it on record, but on the same time, what they're doing on reality basis is something absolutely upside down to what they're saying.
All right, Bhaskar Agrawal, former diplomat, also joins us now on the phone line. Sir, there seems to be a vast difference between what the Pakistan politicians seem to be saying and what the government immediately ends up doing. Do you think that it is the army and non-state actors who are leaning on the government to take these steps, anti-India steps?
There's a lot of difference, I can't hear.
Sir, is it better now? Can you hear me now? I wanted to ask you about the steps.
There's a huge static noise. I cannot hear anything.
All right, sir, we'll try and get back to you in just a moment. Some problem with the phone line that we have with Mr. Bhaskar Agrawal. Let me put that question now to Javed Ansari. In fact, Javed, from all the people that you've spoken to, Hamza, in fact, all the people that you've spoken to, is there a feeling that it is the army which is leaning on the government in Pakistan, forcing them to take these radical steps despite all the peace talk that the politicians are engaging in?
Well, I think yes, to some extent that is actually correct, because see, in Pakistan there is something new happening. Islamabad today and yesterday night has been sealed for all operations of the people and locals, because there is one person by the name Tarul Gadri who is actually threatened a long march of billions coming from Lahore to Pakistan. And Pakistan, in order to stop that, the government needs the support of the Pakistani army. Now, Pakistani army on one side is not very comfortable with Pakistan going ahead with any positive move with India as far as line of control is concerned, as far as especially after the incident of soldiers killing in Pakistan is concerned. So Pakistani army has got its directions given to Pakistani government very straightforwardly, that whatever you say, you will not do any positive step forward with Pakistan. And I think that is what the influence is on the Pakistani government side, because what they're saying is something different and what they're doing in reality is something absolutely different. I think that has the influence of the Pakistani army behind it.
All right. In fact, Mr. Bhaskar Roy is back with us on the phone line. Sir, if you can hear me, how do you read into the developments over the last 48 hours? The foreign minister of Pakistan had said that India must honor the ceasefire agreement. We must continue the confidence-building measures between the two countries. And despite that, they've taken a series of steps which hit at the very heart of these CBMs. What could be the possible reason behind those steps?
You see, you have to look at it from a much larger perspective. There have been recent external issues in China, in Pakistan, and a new military doctrine is being tested out that more danger from internal threats and from the western border, that is Afghanistan, than from India. But so that troop deployment could be reduced in the eastern border with India and to redeploy into the western border. But there are opponents to that, because we don't want to reduce India down to a normal enemy or something, because India is still looked at as the number one enemy. So there are interested parties who would want to control this move from the top. And this could be one of the reasons for which this kind of gruesome attack to sort of shake up the normal approach.
Mr. Roy, thank you. Thank you so much for speaking to us. I really apologize. I have to cut you short because there's something wrong with the audio line that we have with the former diplomat. Some more news coming in. Pakistan has served a démarche to the Indian High Commissioner in the country. Officials in the Foreign Office said that Sabharwal was served a démarche by Foreign Secretary Jalil Abbas Jilani over yesterday's incident in the Batal sector of the LOC, which the Pakistan Army said had resulted in the death of a soldier. Let me go back to my colleague Hamza Amir, who's with us from Islamabad. Hamza, the former diplomat who we're speaking to right now made a point that the Pakistan Army increasingly wants to assert itself given... All right, Hamza, I'll come to you in just a minute, but former ISI chief Hamid Gul now joins us on the phone line. Mr. Gul, India wanted to talk peace with Pakistan, but all we've seen from your side is repeat offences. First, the killing of 2 of our soldiers, now the stopping of a bus service. Why? How can the two things coexist?
Your initial statement is wrong that India is working for peace, because India has not moved 1 inch on comprehensive talks, which includes Sir Creek, which includes Seychelles and many other areas. They haven't even budged 1 inch on this for so many years, since Mr. Bajpai visited here in January of 2004. Pakistan had decided to come out with new solutions on Kashmir. But of course, the fundamental right of the Kashmiri people is still to be respected. And I think Indian democracy, which certainly is a functional democracy, one of the largest functional democracy, it will not reach its maturity until it gives to the people of Kashmir the right of self-determination.
Mr. Hamid Gul, time and again, we've extended confidence-building measures towards Pakistan. It's we who restarted the dialogue. And you, on the other hand, sent Hafiz Saeed to the LOC, and we've got details about the kind of provocative, inflammatory speeches that he gave at the LOC, just meters away from the LOC in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, exhorting the youth there to violence.
Speeches of people who don't matter. They are not in government. I am one of them who makes sometimes very strong speeches against India. But my intention is merely to get the Indian leadership to think that they have to settle Kashmir issue according to democratic principle and give them the right of self-determination, the right of vote, which is at the pinnacle of democratic edifice. So really it is India which is intransigent on Kashmir issue and they don't want to talk about it.
Mr. Hamid Gul, this is not about the Kashmir issue at all. There was firing from the Pakistani side on Indian soldiers, sir.
As far as that thing, it has been always happening. People keep on firing, but you don't react so sharply on this. You kill a Pakistani soldier on the pretext that they were trying to cross the LOC. This is nonsense at Haji Pir Pass at this time of the year. It is not possible. It is so heavily under snow that it is not possible to pick that route for crossing into Kashmir or infiltrate it.
Sir, we did not kill the Pakistani soldier. He was killed in retaliatory firing. The firing started from the Pakistani side. Villages on the Indian side were shelled by former ISI chief, but still completely brazen. He is in denial, saying that Pakistan only retaliated. They were not the first time offenders.